said, it's a Middle Eastern bread. It's soft and pillowy. And usually there's something called a za'atar. And if I'm not saying any of this right, forgive me. I'm but a Black American woman who's a Christian. So I don't know how to pronounce things in Arabic. Forgive me. It's me, Brianna Breezy, back for another episode of the Black Girl Baking Show. I'm gonna do this recipe that I just love it. It's so good. I first learned about this item when one of my coworkers, Rauquiah, had us over for brunch at her house. And she's from Saudi Arabia, and she made brunch, and there was this bread there, right? And it's like this flat bread, and it had some like mixture on top, and I bit into it, and it was so soft and so flavorful. I said, Rauquiah, what is this? I need to know. And she said, oh, it's called Manaeesh. And so today I'm going to be making Manaeesh. I'm going to let you know about it. We're going to get a little history lesson, and you're going to learn about the most simple, easy, tasty bread you can ever make with yeast. I'll say that, with yeast, because there's other simple breads, but with yeast, this is really, really easy. So without further ado, baby, let's go and get into it. So to start off this recipe of Manaeesh, well, first of all, let me talk to you about Manaeesh and what it is, where it comes from. So like I said, it's a Middle Eastern bread. It's closest to a flatbread, right? I mean, I guess it is a literal flatbread, but it's not like what you think of when you think of flatbread. It's not the grocery store, like brown, kind of bubbly thing. It's soft and pillowy. And usually there's something called a za'atar. And if I'm not saying any of this right, forgive me. I'm but a Black American woman who's a Christian. So I don't know how to pronounce things in Arabic. It's a yeast dough, and it has what's called a za'atar on top, which has like different spices. It has thyme and pepper and salt and olive oil, and it's used as like a bread to sop up other things. So you eat it with other things, but honestly, truly, it's good just by itself. You don't even need it with anything else. So that's a lesson on it, and I'm gonna show you how Rauquiah did it for us at brunch and how I do it. I don't deviate from her recipe. I'm gonna just do what she did because she knows best, and I'm gonna stick to it. It's so simple. Warm water, which warm water means if you can put your finger in it without your finger burning off, that's warm water. It's like the baby bottle test. Do not boil water and use yeast. Do not turn your water on the hottest temperature and let it run for a long time and get to where it's steaming. It'll be too hot, it'll kill your yeast. I'm gonna take a little bit of yeast and let it disperse in there and bloom. While it is sitting for a couple minutes, I'm gonna start mixing everything else together, which is gonna take all of about 5 seconds because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ingredients. 5 ingredients, that's it. Then let it sit for just a couple minutes. Let it start doing its thing. Now I'm gonna take some flour. Is it 1.5 cups?
That's 1.5 cups.
Oh, cool.
The whole thing. I was like, that's cool.
Oh!
Yeah.
Well, look at there. I'm like, oh, did you smash it in? Did you put it and then you smashed it? Just a little bit of sugar, just a tablespoon. You know, everything needs a little bit of sugar. And the yeast actually eats off of the sugar too, and that helps it also to grow and bloom and do what it needs to do. And then just a teensy little bit of salt. And now this has been sitting for approximately, I don't know, 30 seconds. Because that's how not hard this bread is to do. That's it. So I guess I can whisk this together to give it another 15 seconds, and then I'm just gonna pour it in. Let's do this. I'm gonna put up my mixer, I'll start it up, and then pour in the yeast mixture. Make sure you get out all the yeast that's in the measuring cup, and then pour in some olive oil. You just make sure that all the flour from the sides is pushed down into the liquid. Let it beat for a little bit. You don't even need to knead it very long. Maybe a couple minutes, just until it's elastic. And that's it. If for some reason you feel like the dough is too dry, you can always add in a little bit, and I mean maybe not even a tablespoon, maybe a teaspoon of water. Now I'm gonna turn it up a little bit higher, let the flour mix in. I think I will add in a little bit more water. There we go. Well, we're gonna go with that. The dough is kneaded. I'm gonna show it to you. Hold on, let me gather it up real quick. Here is all the dough. That's all you need. And this will make 2 Manaeeshes. I don't know what the plural is because again, I don't speak Arabic. But so now I'm going to oil the bowl lightly and let it rise for 15 to 30 minutes. That's all it takes. That's it. So if you get to 15 and you want to be done, you can stop there. I usually sit on the side of letting it rise the full 30 just so it can be as light and soft as it can be. So let me get some oil. I'm gonna grease it up and I'm gonna leave it alone. A little spritz. Now you let it rest. Now I'm gonna make the filling slash spread part of the Manaeesh. You do 4 ounces of cream cheese. You do some salt. Well, I do some salt. She didn't say this, but I do a little bit of salt. Throw it in there. I do a little parsley just for fun. You know, parsley don't really taste like anything, but it looks cool. And I like that. So I'm gonna put in some parsley. Just stir it all together. Now, thankfully, I remembered to soften this cream cheese before I got started. If you don't remember, you can take it out of the little foil wrapper thing, put it on some wax paper or a plate or whatever, put it on defrost for like 20 seconds, just until it gets soft enough for you to easily mix together like this. Then I'm gonna throw in some cheese. And I did a 4th cup, oops, what? I did a 4th cup minus a little bit, but you can also add more if you'd like to. Yeah. And that's, yep, that's it. It's very anticlimactic, this recipe. It don't make sense for how delicious it is. For the egg wash, you just do 1 egg, crack it in there, and 1 tablespoon of water. And then you just whisk it together until the egg is super watery and it's very thin. But all the egg wash does is it helps for your crust to be a little bit shiny. So you'll see with the Manaeesh, the shape of it is kind of an oval. It's like rectangular, ovalish. And then you roll up the sides and you brush those sides, which ends up being like a crust, like a pizza crust. You brush the sides with the egg wash so that when it bakes, it's shiny and just beautiful. You know, that's just baker's delight. That's the little razzle dazzle that I like to do to make things cute. I'm also gonna put this off to the side and let the dough continue to rise. And I'll be back when it's ready to shape. So the dough has risen for like 25 minutes actually. I didn't wait the full 30, but I have my clean surface and a rolling pin because you are gonna roll this out a little bit. All you gotta do, oh gosh, take a little bit of flour, sprinkle it on your surface. You don't need a whole lot. And then you want to separate the dough into 2 halves. So maybe about right there. I can't tell. Sure, we'll go with that.
Yeah.
Close enough. So I just flatten it out a little bit with my hand like this. And then you want to roll it into a rectangular shape. So actually I'm gonna turn it this way, that might be easier. 1/8 of an inch thick, right about there, that should be good. So here is my cream cheese, mozzarella, parsley, salt mixture. You can also add in whatever other spices you want to. And take about half of it because remember we're gonna do 2 parts. And just spread it across the top of the dough. Now again, this is why you want your cream cheese to be soft, because if it's soft, it will spread easily without tearing your dough. And you can go all the way to the edges if you want. You can leave a little space in between. I like to go to the edges because I want it to be in the crust when I roll it up too. Then I'm gonna roll up the sides just a little bit, not a whole lot. Just tuck and roll all the way around. All right, I'm gonna lift it up and put it onto my parchment paper. I like to sprinkle a little bit of red pepper flakes on top too. Oh gosh, that's too much. Oh gosh, that's not enough. It makes it look cool when it bakes up and a little kick. Then you just do the same thing with the other half of the dough. So now I gotta think of other ways to do it. I gotta think of some more topping because I asked Rauquiah and she said you can use whatever you want. Like there's no rules. You have this bread and then put whatever you want on top and it's still a Manaeesh.
You could probably put a fried egg on.
Oh heck yeah. You could do like a whole breakfast Manaeesh with an egg. You could crumble bacon. Sorry, that's kind of like, but do some cheese or sausage. There we go. Dismount, perfect. Boom. I do this. Light sprinkle. Let me move this out the way. And now I have my egg wash. So I'm just gonna brush the crust. Again, just to give it some shine, to make it pretty. Now, I don't do this when it's just me at home. I don't care that much. I don't need the visuals. I know it's good. I'm gonna put the egg wash on so you can see just how simple it is to impress people without doing a whole lot. That's my goal of this baking show, is to show you the things that people think are way too insane. You have to be so talented to do. You don't. You don't. I'm a good baker. I really am. But I'm not so amazing that you can't do any of the things that I do. Truly. Honestly. Then you just pop it in the oven for about 10 to 12, 15, depending on your oven minutes. And I'll show you what it looks like when it comes out. The Manaeesh is out the oven. It's been cooling a little bit, which is why I can hold this with my hands. And how gorgeous is this? It's just beautiful. There's a little brown on top from the oven. The red pepper flakes have browned up a little bit too. And it's just gorgeous. So you can either eat this just all in one sitting if you want, or you can slice it up a little bit into strips. So I started slicing them with my pizza cutter like that, just so you can see what we're working with. Just so you can see the build. The cheese in there, separating a little bit. It's like a soft, cheesy bread. Look at the bottom, just lightly brown, super, super soft. Let me see. Oh my gosh. So soft and pillowy. Usually I don't like a lot of cream cheese on stuff. I think the flavor is a little bit too tangy for me. But paired with the mozzarella, it's just good. It's a good bread. It's so soft and fluffy. I just love it. Thank you to our Middle Eastern friends for your contribution to the world of culinary. Yeah, that's that. So thank you so much for watching. I'm sorry I'm still chewing because it's really that good and I want to finish this, honestly. But this very short, very quick, very simple, very easy recipe. Like, comment, subscribe, you know, do all the stuff. Talk to me, leave a comment, show somebody, share with your grandma. And yeah, I guess I'll see you in the next episode. Bye!